Welcome. My name is Taimur Khan. I'm with the Salesforce Travel, Transportation, Hospitality team. Joining us today is Jill Randall from Agencia, an Expedia group company, who's going to share with us her journey with Salesforce. Hello, Jill. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So tell us about a little bit about yourself and about Agencia.
Yeah, so Agencia is the corporate travel division of Expedia. We provide corporate travel to companies and ensure that business travelers have a great experience while they're on the road for business travel.
And what's your role here?
So my current role at Agencia is the leader of the global Salesforce team. I've had a few hats, though. I've been at Agencia for 12 years. When I first started at Agencia, I was the contracts manager, managing all of the sales contract negotiations. And as we grew, I was able to grow out that team and led a team of contracts managers. And throughout my career, I then moved on to leading an implementations team. And then prior to this role that I'm in now, ran the sales operations team, which encompassed contracts, proposals, and sales engineer. But my favorite is the Salesforce job.
So you've had an amazing insight into the different aspects of this business. Mm-hmm. What have you noticed in the last 5 to 10 years in terms of the industry and the complexity?
Well, I think especially with travel, it's been the power of what technology's really done for travel, not only on the leisure side, but also on the corporate side. Agencia has really been the leader in providing exceptional technology for business travel. We were the first company to have an end-to-end solution for corporate travel. And we now are at $7 billion in gross booking for corporate travel.
So as you're in a very high growth company and in a very fast, rapidly growing market, what sort of complexities did that introduce into the business?
Well, we're actually in 65 countries now. So as you can imagine, that has been significant growth over the past 16 years. And a lot of that has been through acquisitions and organic growth. And with that has come a lot of different Salesforce instances. So one of the challenges that we faced as an organization is how do you build out these scalable global processes in Salesforce when you're trying to merge multiple different orgs. And one thing that when I took over this role that I was working on is really building a global scalable Salesforce solution so that we could continue to grow as a business and have efficient processes within our Salesforce.
65 countries, that's unbelievable amount of perspective in terms of, because travel by definition tends to be global, going from one place to another. Mm-hmm. How has collaboration improved between your teams globally? What's changed and how they interact with the customers?
Yeah, so I think Salesforce has been a key point to that. One thing that we've been able to do over the last few years is really build out this global Salesforce instance and where we have global processes. Prior to 2015, we had 2 different Salesforce orgs where they were not talking to each other and you had different data points on our clients. So as we've built out this global Salesforce platform, we've really been able to leverage all of the data that's been in those silos for so many years and really grow our client base at an organic level.
That's amazing to be able to deliver a single view of that customer to a global workforce at that scale. That's very important. So what do you see the vision, both for the industry and in terms of your work in supporting that? Mm-hmm.
Well, my vision with our Salesforce instance is to continue to build and expand on the foundation that we've built and leverage the power of the Salesforce platform. There's so much more that we could do, such as Einstein or CPQ. And really, for me, it's about making sure that our users are efficient and productive with Salesforce and that it's easy to use and it's the epicenter of their day and it really powers the business and to ensure that we're getting everything out of it that we can.
And how is Lightning, our next generation UI platform, helping you to that path, to that vision?
So we actually moved 700 users to Lightning in April and we leveraged a lot of the new technologies with Lightning, primarily the app builder. And we built out our new opportunity and contract process in Lightning. And It's been an interesting journey for sure. I think that most of our users are getting used to Lightning, but it is a change, right? And for me, Lightning is day and night from Classic, and that it's a more intuitive, friendlier user interface that takes some time to get used to, but I think it is definitely, we're going to be able to leverage that moving forward.
So you've taken this step forward. You've accomplished a lot, and you've probably learned a few things. What would you like to share in terms of others that are considering a similar transition?
With moving to Lightning, it is a large change for your users. So I have a few tips for everyone out there if you're wanting to embark on this journey of moving to Lightning. And the first is to make sure that your users understand why you're making that change, and make sure that your leaders, especially your executive leaders, are on board with that change and that they're backing you. And then make sure also that your frontline managers are there as well, especially if you're moving Sales Cloud. Make sure that they're there and they understand the change as well, because as we know, sometimes sales folks can complain a little bit, and they're the ones that are going to be hearing that from their users. So make sure that they understand. And the third one is to utilize your champion network. Make sure that you have Salesforce champions throughout your user base that can be there side by side with the other users to promote Lightning. And on the flip side, make sure that your detractors are also on board. Give them Lightning early, because they're the ones that you're gonna hear the most noise from. So let them get used to it first. And on the tactical side, the first one is take away the switcher after probably 2 weeks, because users will go back to what's natural and they will switch back to Classic and use Classic until you tell them they cannot anymore. The second is to make sure that you've checked all your third-party apps. So make sure that all of your third-party apps that you have in your org are Lightning compliant. And then the third is to leverage the Salesforce resources. There's some great accelerators out there, there's some great trailheads, and there's also support services are fantastic if you have any questions with Lightning.
Jill, that's an amazing journey, and your lessons learned and experiences in some of these best practices. So I know we'll get to hear, and I'm personally looking forward to seeing more on your session at Dreamforce. So tell us about the what and the when of your presentation.
Yeah, so I kick off Dreamforce Tuesday morning at 9:45, and my session is the ecstasy and agony of moving to Lightning. I'll talk through our journey and the challenges we faced and the successes. So looking forward to that.
It's great. So it's a great way to kick off Dreamforce in the morning of the first day. And I'm sure that's a very popular time. What are you personally expecting to get out of it, out of the rest of Dreamforce after
my session is over? Yeah, so I felt last year that I was a little overwhelmed. It was my first Dreamforce, so this year I'm hoping to be a little bit more strategic about what I'm attending and where I need to be, and hopefully not stand in as many lines. So I'm really going to focus on CPQ and also leveraging Einstein with Sales Cloud, and then also maybe attend a few GDPR sessions. Not very exciting, but
it's important given your global footprint of your users and
right.
your customers' data. Certainly makes sense. Well, thank you, Jill. That was an amazing story. You'll get to see more details on that in the session at Dreamforce later this month. But many others like this within the industry and other industries in terms of best practices, lessons learned, and customer experiences. We look forward to seeing you and joining us at Dreamforce later this month.